When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs. I'm roughly the size of a barge. That certainly explains then why no one's cholesterol's as high as Gaston's.
When both the 1991 and 2017 editions of Beauty and the Beast were separately selected for the Film Review Open Challenge, I made a decision that if one got picked, I'd review them both. After all, they are essentially the same film. In fact, I was pretty critical of the remake when I did my quick review in 2017, likening it to a freshly painted room. I used more metaphors back then. So, the first official double feature film review open challenge is looking at both the 1991 Disney classic and the 2017 remake. Here's my review of Beauty and the Beast. In provincial France, a spoiled prince turns away a haggard old woman from his door despite being warned not to judge appearances. He turns her away again and she reveals herself to be an enchantress who changes the prince into a beast and his entire staff into furniture. The only way to break the spell is for the prince to find love and have someone fall in love with him before the magic rose loses all its petals. In a village not too far away, bookworm Belle lives with her father Maurice. Maurice goes away for a couple of days but gets lost and ends up at the enchanted castle after being chased by wolves. He seeks shelter but instead is captured and imprisoned by the beast. Maurice's horse Philippe rides back to the village and Belle goes after Maurice, finding the castle and her father who is cold and sick. The beast refuses to let Maurice go though, and Belle offers to trade herself for her father. Maurice is sent back to the village and Belle is taken from the tower to one of the suites, where she must stay for the rest of her life. The beast demands that Belle eat with him, but she refuses. Thankfully, the staff, headed up by Lumiere the candelabra, Cogsworth the clock, and Mrs. Potts the teapot, make sure that Belle is cared for, but all tell her not to go into the West Wing. Belle almost immediately explores the West Wing and the beast scares her away into the woods. She is about to be eaten by wolves when Beast saves her, but is wounded badly by the wild animals. Belle takes him back to the castle and tends his wounds. The two grow close over their love of literature and the staff start to get their hopes up that Belle might be the one to break the curse. Just as Beast is about to profess his love for Belle, he lets her see her father using a magic mirror and she sees that he's being carted away to an asylum. Beast lets Belle go to save Maurice. Whilst Belle has been at the castle, Maurice has been trying to get the village to help rescue her from the beast, with the whole village laughing at him and not believing him. The village hunter Gaston, alongside his manservant LeFou, see Maurice's plight as an opportunity for Gaston to marry Belle. Gaston's interest in Belle is purely and simply because she's the most beautiful girl in the village, and her playing hard to get makes her a prize for him. Gaston's attempts to use Maurice to force the wedding have failed, and just as Maurice is being carted away to the asylum, Belle arrives and shows that Maurice was right all along, using the magic mirror as proof. Gaston accuses Belle of being enchanted by Beast and locks her up with Maurice, before leading the entire village to kill the Beast. The village become an angry mob and attack the castle. Gaston finds Beast and goes to kill him, but Beast does not fight back until he sees Belle come back for him after she and Maurice escape their capture. Beast is about to kill Gaston when he begs for mercy. Beast releases Gaston and goes to be with Belle, but Gaston shoots Beast in the back before falling to his death. Beast lays dying as the magical rose loses its last petal. Belle professes her love for Beast, and the spell is broken. The castle returns to its former glory, the staff are transformed into humans, and the Beast changes back into the handsome prince. The film ends as Belle and the prince dance in the ballroom. Watching these films back to back has been very interesting and has made me see things in a very different light. There are a lot of similarities in the two, but the differences between them are a lot more stark than I remembered. I have a new appreciation for both of them, but I guess there's something there that wasn't there before. The story is where the films differ the most. My summaries tried to cover both, but the differences in both characters and how they get to their endings can be really different. The biggest change in character is Maurice, who in the 1991 film is a crazy inventor who makes a contraption that he's entering into an inventor's fair. Maurice in this version is a loving father but kooky character who the whole village call crazy before he's done anything to warrant it. The 2017 version, brilliantly portrayed by Kevin Kline, is calmer, an artist and tinkerer who makes beautiful paintings and clocks. He's headed to the market when he gets lost. They also react very differently to seeing the furniture talk to them. I certainly know how I'd react. Hello.
Nope.
The backstory of Belle and Maurice is explored better in the remake too. They had to flee their home in Paris because of plague, something that is explained away in a scene where Beast, using a magical book, transports himself and Belle to her old home. I like that we have a reason for Maurice being the way he is, because I checked, Belle's mother isn't even mentioned in the 91 original. The other major story element that's changed is the Beast and his age. Again, in the 91 edition, the story goes that the Beast has until his 21st birthday to find love in his heart, and Lumiere mentions in Be Our Guest that they've been transformed for 10 years. That means that the prince was 10 when he was transformed. That's really harsh to say he has no love in his heart. To banish him as a beast forever until he falls in love and turns 21? Perhaps the original is an allegory for the boy going through puberty. The remake removes the ages in the intro and in Be Our Guest, which makes the story work a lot better. Overall though, the story isn't as bad as I remember. I lazily likened this to Stockholm Syndrome for years, and I know it's a popular opinion to say that that's what Belle goes through, but my opinion has changed following these rewatches. No one but Belle's father appreciates her in the village, and as soon as Belle and Beast bond over books, there's an appreciation. The two bond and make compromises to each other. It's a natural progression of the relationship and it works for me. Better in the original than the remake though, as it's Beast, not the staff, that show her to her suite initially. Belle's interactions with the Beast in the 27 version are all cold and one-sided until she attends to his wounds, whereas Beast clumsily makes an effort in the original. Her situation is so bad in the live-action version that Belle thinks about climbing down the tower, though perhaps she ought to be using Wingardium Leviosa.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
This brings me to the acting. Voice actors weren't well credited back in 1991. The only well-known actress is Angela Lansbury, who is great as Mrs. Potts. To be honest, most of the original cast are pretty good. I love Gaston's over-the-top hammy performance portrayed by Richard White. Everyone else does fine, but nothing stands out. In 2017, I've already mentioned that Kevin Kline is criminally underrated, but I'm not convinced on Emma Watson as Belle. I feel she's stiffer than Belle should be, and to jump ahead, I don't think a singing voice has the same impact. Luke Evans as Gaston isn't the complete jerk he is in the original. Does that make him worse though? Hiding his intentions as opposed to being upfront in his ambitions? I like Luke Evans as Gaston overall. I'm not sure about Josh Gad's LeFou though. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Dan Stevens as Beast has a great singing voice. The song Evermore, new for the remake, may not be as catchy or memorable as others, but it's a great showcase of his voice. You know, random fact, it's never mentioned in either of the films, but Beast's human name is Prince Adam, not that one. The furniture do well though. Ewan McGregor lights up the screen but has a missed opportunity to say bonjour there as Lumiere. Ian McKellen as Cogsworth is as regular as clockwork, and Emma Thompson as Mrs. Potts is cast to a T. Though I really don't like her rendition of Beauty and the Beast. The music and lyrics don't even sync up at the end, and it's more off-putting than you'd think when you notice it. Let's talk the music. The songs are great and have been in my head for ages. I found myself humming Gaston's theme the most recently.
No one seats like Gaston, sells you sweets like Gaston's. No one gives you high quality sleeps like Gaston's.
The original version of that song has a line that really grosses me out though.
And every last inch of me's covered with hair.
If there was ever a time to be sponsored by Manscaped, this would be it. I have to tip my cap to the original. I think the music in almost every song is better. That's not to say the 2017 versions are bad, but the originals hit the mark so much more, aside from lyrical issues I've raised here and there. The original does have one bad version though, the credits version of Beauty and the Beast by Peabo Bryson and Celine Dion. I hate it. Thankfully, Dion came back and sung a rendition of How Does a Moment Last Forever, which is much better. Visually, both are really good. The animation quality in the 91 original actually took me aback from the very beginning. The layering, the bright colours, the detail in the main cast that make them stand out from the background characters who all look the same. It's all very impressive. That iconic ballroom scene though is something else. A 3D background with 2D animated characters interacting in it. It's really beautiful, and looking in the credits, Pixar had a hand in making these scenes, which makes Beauty and the Beast one of the first Disney Pixar movies. The remake has some beautiful backgrounds, but some of the non-human characters look a bit off, particularly Beast, who just doesn't look right. You can see motion capture here was used on the facial features of Dan Stevens, but it costs his menacing look in my opinion. Did Beauty and the Beast get well received? In 1991, a $25 million budget made $440 million in the box office. It won 2 Oscars and had 4 other nominations. That's impressive. 2017, $255 million budget, $1.264 billion box office, and 2 Oscar nominations. Yeah, they did well. Where successful films are made, sequels are not far behind. 3 direct-to-video films were made. VHS. The Enchanted Christmas, Belle's Magical World, and Belle's Tales of Friendship, alongside a spin-off series called Sing Me a Story with Belle. No, I haven't seen any of these, and no, I'm not reviewing them. This video is long enough as it is. What about the 2017 remake though? Cast members have expressed interest in returning, and a Disney Plus series starring LeFou and Gaston was being made. It's currently, as of March 2022, postponed indefinitely. I'd watch it though, as long as Gaston doesn't have any body hair confessions. As with most musical films, a Broadway musical has been running on and off since 1993, just 2 years after the original film. That too has won awards, and I'd consider seeing it. Goodness, the change in me over the years considering going to the theatre to see a musical based on a Disney film. Oh, yes, the review. Before I finished, I wanted to bring up 2 random notes. In the original, the bookstore owner gives away books to Belle. How is he making any money if no one else in the village reads? In the remake, it's a library, so not as bad. And then there's this funny full circle moment I noticed. LeFou in 1991 gets covered in snow and looks like a snowman. Josh Gad plays LeFou in the remake. Josh Gad is well known for playing Olaf the Snowman in Disney's Frozen. If that's intentional, then bravo. If not, then I think it's a fun little coincidence. Disney's Beauty and the Beast is a long way from its original story published in 1740, but it has charmed and beguiled people for years and years. I have a new appreciation for both versions, but if you were to ask me which is better, I'd have to say it depends. Do you want something short, colourful with better music? Then you pick the original. If you want something longer with a more fleshed out story and a little bit darker, pick the remake. Personally, I'm all about the remake, but I can't deny the original's quality. Beauty and the Beast 1991 and 2017 are magical films I can recommend. If you're going to be imprisoned in a castle for the rest of your life, you could do worse than watching these 2. Coming up next for the Film Review Open Challenge is The Greatest Showman. For now though, thank you very much for watching.